Be advised, mature content ahead. This podcast is brought to you ad-free thanks to the Legion of Demons at patreon.com/NOTLP. If you like what you hear, there's much more at patreon.com/NOTLP. Join the Legion. That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And now the show.
How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Gangs!
Oh, gangs.
Street fighting gangs with their punches and their kicks and such. And
They're
then
always punching and kicking.
You have the real sirens over by you. Yeah.
You got me.
Gangs are dangerous, guys. Stay in school.
Mm-hmm.
Hear that? Elsa's the crime dog today. She's like McGruff. So,
well, Freddy, it turns out I'm in gang school, so...
You're in gang school?
Joke's on you.
No. Andy, stay in.
He said stay in school, so...
You have creative graffiti class?
Yeah. It's true. You should stay in school, but I don't know what we do about that.
You ever heard what's the singular of graffiti, Andy? If you're in gang school, prove it.
Graffiti? Graffitis? Graphics.
It's graffitities.
Some big old graffitities.
Mm-hmm.
That's some itty bitty graffitities.
Part of the Gorillitic gang.
Oh.
So, I'm Freddy. Amy is here.
I am.
That was Andy that you just heard. He's in gang school. He's doing good, though.
Yeah.
We're proud of him.
Pops. I'm sticking it to the man. Pops.
I got a bumper sticker that says, "My best friend is a student, honor roll student at the Crips and Bloods public school 911." Because it's
a long name.
It's a perpetual emergency there.
And Kelley's here.
And Kelley. And then there's Kelley.
And then there's Kelley. I love B. Arthur.
So we're doing gangs, which is this is a theme that I really wanted to do, and Andy, well,
you saw a movie and you said, let's wrap a month around this, and which is what we normally do.
That's what I always think. So I watched. I'd seen 1990, The Bronx Warriors, just on a lark, a couple of months ago, and I thought it was so great. And I told everybody, I'm like, I want to do a gang theme, so we have a reason to talk about this. And
well, it could have fit into our knockoffs month too, because it's a knockoff of the Warriors, right?
For sure.
And Escape from New York too. Mm-hmm. But the funny thing is, in mentioning the ripoffs months that we just did, this is the same director, Enzo Castellari, who did The Last Shark, Vic Morrow in both movies.
You could see some similarities too, some long, loving shots.
Yeah. But we'll get into that. Before that, Kelly's reviewing Slaxx for straight-to-video version Roulette. Elsa, where's the crime? She wants you to take a bite out, crime.
Just FYI, listeners, we're having a fence installed in our backyard, so there are workmen's here.
FYI.
And Elsa is not pleased with people on her property and in her territory.
We're using the Murphy Brown fence installation company.
And she's very defensive about things right now.
Defensive.
In my defense. Patreon.
Heard of it.
Topicana's coming. It's going to be a day late.
Yeah. But not $1 short.
But not $1 short. Just like this is a day late. And Origins is out there now too. So check that out if you're a patron. That's when we go and listen to our old episodes and comment on them and re-release them, and we try to assure everyone who listens that we're different people.
We reckon,
but we also like to have the receipts there of our growth.
Yeah. I'm 10 feet tall now. I've grown a lot.
Yeah. You're a big boy.
Anything big going on in anyone's lives besides Andy? Because he's such a big boy.
Just me in general. I'm huge.
Andy busted his ass helping us put in AstroTurf on our
My
patio.
ass is literally gone.
It's true. We broke his ass.
And now it's covered with AstroTurf.
Yeah.
AstroTurf.
We
It's a beautiful backyard. It's beautiful. It was worth the backbreaking labor.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. It's really cool.
We went out for the first time. Alyssa and myself went out socially for the first time. We rented. And I'm sorry to spring this on the crew here. They didn't know about this, but we went to see Godzilla. We rented a theater. I'm just kidding. They went with us.
Just the two of us.
Don't try to gaslight us, Kelley. We were there.
We rented out a theater for just a private party. And to
thank
watch
you so much, Alyse. It was so sweet of Alyse to do this.
No, thank you guys for we wanted you there anyway, and we would have done it if it was just the two of us. So we'll spend that nickel and dime to see them monsters. And that's what we did, and it was awesome, and I loved it. I love Godzilla. I love King Kong. I want to be best friends with them forever. And we all
Do you think they would
go.
be good friends?
To me, yes.
Amy still needs to see the movie, I should say.
I didn't go because of a stupid migraine.
Oh, Amy did not go.
I can watch it on the HBO Maxes, but I know it won't be as good because one, I won't be surrounded by my friends, and two, I will be in my home, which is not as good as a theater.
I don't know if that's true, but you don't have as big a screen.
Move your chair directly in front of the television and it won't be any different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have Freddy stomp around with his shirt off like King Kong.
People underestimate the value of just moving your seat close to your television.
Well, because you're not supposed to
That's urban legend.
Is that true?
It's an old wives' tale that it makes you blind or that poltergeist will grab you.
Yeah.
Well, my mom always told me that it will mess up your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
like
because
looking at the. It was like looking at the sun directly.
Nah, it's because they want you to get the fuck out of the way so they can see the screen. And they think that maybe in the interest of your own self-preservation, you'll do it, but you won't. So you're pressing your face on the glass because Prince Adam has come out with Cringer and Cringer. Yeah.
Cringer. It works. If you say Cringer, it covers you for both.
Yeah.
Because you can say Cringer.
Cringer. It's the soup Cringer. It's a cowardly cat in a tomato bisque.
I loved Cringer and Battle Cat. They were my favorite He-Man character. It's one character, but you know what I mean. Freddy knows what I mean.
Battle Cat was the badass bitch once he changed.
Yeah, right?
When he would go from being all meek and stuff and he'd have his armor on and you're just like, whoa.
He went to Pussy to Battle Cat.
Mm-hmm. He did go from Pussy to Battle Cat.
You ever wonder why he was so scared as just Cringer, though? Because he's still a pretty big animal with big old claws and teeth.
Yeah, he needed that armor. That's where he got his confidence from. Maybe he didn't feel sexy.
Well, he also grew like 4 or 5 times larger.
He did get bigger.
A lot bigger.
Yeah. Everywhere.
Are we talking about He-Man right now?
Yeah, we're talking about
Okay.
He-Man.
I'm just
temporarily.
That's good.
So with this theme gangs, we decided, this week is 1990, the Bronx Warriors. Next week we're going to do, and I've already forgotten what we chose.
The Road
Warrior.
The Road Warrior, yes. So Amy will be sending an email to a lucky listener who will be choosing the third movie we're doing for gangs.
And the winner is actually lucky listener.
It's lucky listener. But if you want to be a part of that, you just go to notlp.com and scroll down until you see Dracula on a postage stamp, and you can sign up there.
You bet your ass.
Yeah, you bet your ass. Dracula.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you guys want for the beginning?
A couple of things. Very important things.
Oh, my goodness.
We started Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's good. Just not sure where we're going yet.
Yeah. Or did you think of the same thing? I thought the same thing with WandaVision.
That's true. Maybe I was 3 eps in and I was like, I'm not quite sure if I love this. But I'm sure
What's it missing? Is it because it's missing Chris Evans? And it's not the same without him?
It's true for so many things. I'm just not sure yet. Like, I'm enjoying myself, but I'm not sure yet.
I like that it feels a little mysterious, and you might not know exactly what they're trying to do. At this point, it feels almost like a buddy cop movie, which is fun, but I have a feeling it's going to get much deeper than that. Right? It has to. They always do.
It's true. It's true.
Because they're buddies now, right? Bucky Barnes and Falcon.
Well,
They're
reluctant partners.
It's the way it's the 48 hours formula. You know, they're the McNulty and Eddie Murphy, wherein Bucky's kind of the Eddie Murphy in the relationship.
God damn it, Chewbacca.
Yeah. Exactly.
Also today I found out that Q is coming back for Picard season 2. So that's like super exciting if you're me.
That's very exciting.
Or Kelley.
Or John Delancey.
Or John Delancey and his bank account.
Yeah.
His name is Q?
That's his name.
He
is that where QAnon came from?
He is AQ.
There's some arguments that yes, it has something to do with referencing that, but then there's also this novel. Anyway, HBO has that whole documentary.
Are you guys watching this documentary? Because it's bananas.
I'm afraid to. I don't want to go to the rabbit hole of awful people.
Well,
I'll go in your rabbit hole.
So they're interviewing the guy who owns 8chan, and he's got a Q poster behind him, like Q Star Trek poster behind him. And they're like, is this guy Q? He could be Q, and he clearly knows who Q is. I haven't seen the last 2 episodes.
And you're like, that is Q, literally.
That is Q, literally.
I love John Delancey. Did you know he was on he was on Days of Our Lives right before he was on and the only reason I know this, the only reason I even know this is because I actually watched it with my grandma when I was a little baby boy.
Aww.
And he was on it, and he played a character I like because he was like, I guess they figured out that I guess that actor is kind of quirky and weird because his character on Days of Our Lives was a less soap opera-esque character. Like he was kind of a quirky, weird dude. And then his love interest was like a quirky lady on the show. So they were kind of like comic relief.
Right. That makes sense.
And so then when he was on, when I watched Star Trek The Next Generation with my parents and I saw him, I was very excited because I recognized him from the soap opera that I watched.
Did like soap operas, from my experience, it was all about the like sexy sex. Did he get sexy sex on? Because that would be weird.
We didn't see, my experience with soap operas was it was a lot of long looks with intense eye contact.
That could be sexy sex.
Well, I'm not saying it's not sexy, and I'm not saying there isn't sex. I'm just saying I don't think Days of Our Lives was necessarily a super sexy show. Is what I mean. As far as soap operas go, it may not have been as sexed up as some others.
And plus, you're still a little baby boy back then. You had no idea what sex was.
I mean, but but I will say that I was very young, so I don't remember all that well.
Okay.
And I didn't love soap operas. I liked watching with my grandma.
Are they still around?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they still make them.
I don't know that they'll ever stop until network TV is just not a thing anymore.
Right.
I don't know if you guys mentioned this when I was out of the room. I had to grab a cracker. I was having a low blood sugar incident. So didn't they used to film them like every day, or didn't even film them? They used to do them live or something, a live broadcast.
They did do them live. Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of,
or they would, or they could. I think they used to all the time. They would film it.
Back in the 50s and 60s, because they had no choice, right? Because there were so many of those shows they had to put out.
Well, part of the thing I know this about is because of the movie Tootsie, where this part of that takes place on a soap opera, and there are moments where they like have to go live because of some kind of script change or some kind of other thing.
So they're standing by, and he's dressed up and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like, that's, it's an interesting thought that you're standing in the wings waiting for this recording to play out. Or maybe not. Then you have to spring to work. Well,
it was like they would be filming it in front of the studio audience to and then they're like, we're gonna have to go live. I don't exactly know. I don't work in soap operas.
I don't know soaps.
Was it the movie? I know I've seen it a couple times. Couldn't tell you anything about it. It has Terry Hatcher in it. Soap Dish?
Yeah.
That was a
an
fun
all-star
movie.
cast.
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg,
Sally Field,
Yeah.
Kathy Moriarty, I think.
I feel like going back and revisiting that. Did you ever
Robert
see
Downey Jr.?
I don't remember it. I mean, I know of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Can I tell you something else funny now that we're talking about this? When that movie, I have still never seen Soap Dish, but from the moment it came out, again, when I was a little kid, I wanted to see it because of all those people in it and never did. And then all through my life, I've wanted to see it. Like every so often it will occur to me. I'll be like, oh, Soap Dish. Shit, I've always wanted to see that.
That's going to be your last words on your deathbed, like Citizen Kane.
Soap Dish.
You're going to have a Soap Dish themed snow globe, and it's gonna shatter on your floor,
or it's gonna be the last thing. Like I'm just gonna happen to remember like a minute before I die. Like,
oh fuck, Soap Dish.
I say like I did everything I ever wanted to do, and then I'm like, oh, Soap Dish.
It's so tragic, Kelley. I feel so sorry for future Kelley that he never got to saw Soap Dish.
But I will watch it, and I've always wanted to.
It is streaming on Paramount Plus right now.
Oh.
Nice, I have that.
So there you go.
Do you guys have cable when you guys were kids?
No.
Okay,
Not until I was a lot older.
This is why I've seen Soap Dish, because it was constantly on cable. I think that was the only thing on. It was the only thing on cable for a while.
Don't you think we were an interesting generation because we were the first generation that had like in-home premium, R-rated entertainment with really adult themes, and we were like unattended in a lot of respects. So,
Latchkey Kid right here.
Yeah, so you end up like watching a whole lot of stuff, like adult drama stuff that you would never be exposed to now, because a kid wouldn't want to see it because they have too many choices. But if you're like, oh, this has got swear words in it and it's 2 PM, I'm homesick, I'm going to watch Soap Dish.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly, you can't believe the amount of shit I watch. And I don't even mean like naughty, like, ooh, like just the shit that wasn't for kids, just boring.
Because it was on
30-something we'd watch.
MASH.
Yeah.
And I loved it, but I loved it now. And I watched TV with my parents. Like it was a thing. Yeah. I feel like I feel like I have sophisticated taste because of it.
It is kind of a cool, it's a weird thing. It's a weird, like I said, I don't think it's ever going to happen like this again.
It would give me sometimes a bit of a superiority complex in school, because like some of my classmates who are not as bright as me, they and who didn't watch TV shows with their parents,
they weren't cool like me,
but they did not get adult humor, and they didn't no one can remember this time now other than our generation. Kids didn't know what sarcasm was for a little while as a kid.
Yeah.
But if you watched a lot of TV with your parents, you picked it up. And I remember thinking, oh, these poor fools don't even get what I'm saying. I was like a weird like Dr. Evil thing. Like I could have gone in a different direction if I'd like not been so lazy. Like
you could have become Dr. Evil.
I looked down on people because they didn't get, I was like, they're just,
Kelley, I agree with you, because I used to watch a lot of PBS when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like did anybody else watch the Lawrence Welk Show or the Red Green Show?
Yeah, I love Red Green. I didn't love Lawrence Welk, but I did watch it with my grandma.
Lawrence Welk was so weird. I don't
even understand what that is.
Well, the
it's
SNL
like a
sketch.
variety show.
Yeah.
No, I know. I know it is, but it's like, when you watch it, it doesn't look like that.
You know what I think about that show, the Lawrence Welk Show, was for the World War II vets, like, because they kind of perform the same like dance hall music they would probably dance to at the USO, and you know what I mean? Like, and then
it's just
soothing.
So gentle.
Yeah, they but you've seen the SNL sketch with Fred Armisen playing that Lawrence Welk type character.
Bubbles and bubbles.
That's where Kristen Wiig's little hand character came in.
Yeah, I love that.
I think her name was Dunice.
Dunice.
I don't quote me on that, but I think at one point she said her name is Dunice.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I think we're all old souls on this show because we were latchkey kids and just left to our own devices.
Latchkey kids plus indoor kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys want to anything else before we get into the Roulette movie?
I was pretty outdoorsy.
You were outdoorsy?
I spent a lot of time outdoors.
Oh, I was outdoorsy.
But like your inner soul is indoor kid.
Oh, sure.
I seek
I like
life
the
wherever
outdoors.
it may be. Adventure. It's wherever the adventure is. If it's
Yeah,
Dragon Warrior on NES,
Yeah, exactly.
or if it's in the
We
woods.
we
Or
were
if it's out in the
creek
woods.
kids.
Yeah, creek kids.
We were creek kids. We used to go to
Yeah.
the creek all the time.
That's right.
I've been
Or
into
some people-
sewers.
The crick. That's how some people called it.
We mapped the woods.
You boldly.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take
went.
umbrage at not being considered indoorsy as a child.
guess I wasn't-
I apologize.
I wasn't saying that you never went outside. I just meant like in my heart, I just wanted to be inside reading a book.
You know what made me laugh too is like we were like about to transition into the next segment. I'm like, anybody got anything else? And Kelly's like, I'm gonna say it. I'm outdoorsy.
That is what happened too. That's exactly what happened. It was a
How
moment.
dare you?
There was a moment where I considered just letting it go, and then I was like, "No." He said, "Is there anything else?" I'm just going to throw this out there.
I let the record reflect that the defense says he is in fact outdoorsy.
The senator from Coleraine Township was indeed an outdoor child as well as an indoor child.
Yeah, I'm not just a simple hopper chicken. But
I thought you was corn.
Let's do this thing.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for straight to video Russian roulette.
Ready.
Hi there. And you are?
Libby.
You are here for the new collection turnaround. This is such an important night for us.
A lot of people have been very keen to get their eyes on it. Jeans that automatically adapt to your body size. The Super Shapers!
I want you to know I will do whatever it takes to make sure things go as scheduled.
Oh my god. I'm so totally excited. I could just die. Should we call the police?
We can't. We're in lockdown.
What if there's a killer out there?
Are you afraid there's a killer out there?
Yeah.
Get ready for Slaxx.
Okay, so we know two things. It loves Bollywood music, and it has a bindi on its forehead.
Slaxx.
Small price to pay for an awesome ass.
This looks fun.
All right, so I'm not going to spoil this because it is a recommend.
Oh,
but
Kelly, I'm surprised.
It did not work for me. So it is, but I think it will work for a lot of people. And I think that it was well made, well written, well acted overall. But so this is an interesting one for me because I did not enjoy much about this movie at all. And like when I say what I enjoyed was like the color palette and some of the, I mean, really just technical stuff. But again, I appreciate that the performances were all well done. For what this kind of movie is, it is a good one. And I think this is acting as sort of certainly a very on the nose satire of like American Apparel and stores of that ilk, specifically them, I think, but because Alise helped me understand that. I didn't understand the whole American Apparel thing, but
I didn't even know they had real storefronts. I thought they were all mail order.
I think they did.
They had one in Clifton a couple years ago. But
Yeah, I remember that. But anyway, so but as like a movie, like it's hard for me to explain why this kind of movie doesn't work for me because it's a certain kind of satire where, again, I get that everything is meant to be the way it is, you know. So I get why the performance, like why the characters are all sort of cartoon characters and sort of two-dimensional, if even that. Like, I understand that's all the point and it's deliberate, but it kind of just, and sometimes that will work for me. Like for that kind of satire to work for me, it has to be, has to be something about it that grabs me specifically. And while I like like this kind of thing just doesn't, I've never worked in that kind of a retail store before. There was just not really much of anything.
So you felt like it was too specific?
I felt like it wasn't specific enough to me. Not that every movie needs to be, just for this kind of movie. This was like an over-the-top cartoony satire send-up movie with an interesting sort of twist, which, I mean, obviously, if you've seen the trailer, I mean, it's not spoiling it to say that there are killer genes, like, that kill people. What? That I'm not going to tell you what the means of their sentience / you know, murderous abilities are, but that you get that much from the trailer. And so it's automatically kind of a gimmick movie, which again, totally can work. This one didn't. I think it skews almost a little too young for me, maybe.
Well, I watched this movie too, and I think the problem for me is like they thought the concept was going to be enough to make a whole movie around. I mean, that's the point. I mean, that's how all movies are come about, but that's all they had behind it. There was nothing else around it besides the concept.
All right. Well, I'm glad. Yeah. Cause like I felt similarly, it felt like they just wrapped a very basic, again, and I'm not trying to take away anything from the writer or the director, but it did feel like they took very basic, almost like sort of sitcom or TV mean characters.
Well, you said it was like skewering, like specifically American Apparel, but I also saw it as just corporate culture.
Yeah.
It felt very Apple to me sometimes. Mm-hmm. You know, like people just go balls in for every Apple product and buy into the lifestyle that.
Look at me. You know. I don't have a HomePod.
He is balls in.
I don't have an iPod Nano.
But it's that this cultish nature around some products that people just really ascribe to. Same thing with like Tesla's Apple products.
Right, and the CEO is a big part of this movie too. He's a character.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right about that. Definitely a lot of just in general of all the branding of sort of everything. It wasn't deep enough. I do feel like it was kind of a super basic, and again, that's not always a problem. It just didn't really work for me, but I think some people will really, really like this. So it is a recommend from me. It just was a little too silly. I don't know. There was just nothing deeper really. There was nothing deeper going on. And then the things that were going on weren't fun enough for me, you know, like there's certain things that if you don't want to tell, you know, if you just want to tell like a goofy story, then there are things that will appeal to me. Pants killing teenage girls who are bitchy isn't.
Yeah. Well, the concept is very like 70s to 80s, but it didn't have the heart or charm around it because it was knowingly going for making something ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like you guys want to special order a movie. Don't you wish you could do that? Like, I think we're getting close with the algorithms they've built where you can go and say, I'm looking for something that's a horror comedy, but it can't be too heavy on the comedy, and the jokes have to be tastefully done.
I don't know if I want that. I do like in my music being able to like drill super hardcore down.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want different movies than this.
He just wants what he wants.
Don't you want to someday, if you don't like an actor, you can just click exclude anything they worked on
and replace him with somebody else?
Yeah,
if you could replace him.
It'll be Christopher Plummer every time. no matter what the role.
So when you
have you seen?
go
ahead.
No, Andy, you go ahead. No, because I was going to get it back onto the train of this movie, and I don't think you wanted to.
Sorry. Did you ever see those deep fake videos that they're putting out? They could just put somebody else's face on an actor you don't like.
This is true. They just can build it into the apps.
It could be you.
So
Could be me. Nobody knows.
Yeah. You're describing this movie, and you're like, it's too silly, but not like it's too superficial. It doesn't really. And then I'm thinking about the movie we're about to discuss, 1990, The Bronx Warriors, which was extraordinarily silly and very superficial,
No, that
but
movie,
a delight.
But it was
far less successful than this movie.
But they tried the Bronx Warriors. They were sincere in what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
That's where I think camp comes from.
They were very sincere about that man and his hair.
We'll probably
and his pecs and his butt.
His butt.
I think we'll probably have a lot to say about the camp value when we get to that.
That's about all I have to talk about that movie.
I will say the jean scenes were really cute.
Yeah, no, the jeans. Yeah, there were definitely good things about this. It felt a lot like
when they were moving by themselves. I was like, oh, how cute.
I might have really liked this if it had been a short.
Yeah,
like if this had been like a 12 to 15 minute short.
Jean short.
I still wouldn't have.
Short.
Oh, you.
Yeah, Amy.
I still would have loved it. I wouldn't have raved about it. I probably wouldn't have recommended it to anybody, but I would have been like, oh, that was entertaining enough.
So you just reminded me of that American Dad episode where Roger makes jeans out of the seatbelt material from his ship.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, Roger's an alien. He had a ship. He makes jeans, and the jeans are sentient.
Oh yeah.
You think they stole this idea from American Dad?
That was the episode with "Wow, women do."
Fancy.
Roger was hawking his jeans on Home Shopping Network.
Yeah.
But they were like evil, the jeans, right?
They were evil, the jeans.
Yeah, I think so.
They were evil, you know.
My memory is not so good.
So
anymore.
maybe if this movie doesn't satisfy your need for gene content.
Ooh, that's what I like to call it.
I'll go back and revisit.
The American
This doesn't
Dad.
satisfy my desire for gene contents.
I like a little bit more content than jeans.
Yeah, you do.
I call them dungarees.
Oh, you're so
I call them
worldly.
dumperies because I poop in them.
Freddie?
Ew. He goes through jeans a lot. His jean budget's out the
Just
out
your
the door.
jeans, Andy. I only poop in your pants.
Oh, that explains it.
Yeah. You think I'd poop in my own pants?
You
That's
can't
just
fit in
gross.
Andy's jeans.
No, he doesn't fit in them. He just takes
I
them
just
out.
poop in them. I didn't
puts them
say I
back.
wore them.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Okay, Kelley. So you've landed on recommend, but hedging a little.
Not hedging. It's just not a recommend if you're like me.
If you are exactly like Kelley.
So if you are exactly like me, if you are me, this is not a recommend, Kelley. If you're listening, don't watch Slaxx. You won't like it. But other people will probably.
Delightful.
Gotta get back in time.
Gotta get back in time.
Well,
So
I feel like every time I see what, Andy?
It's not a recommend for any Kelley. No Kelly Bundy. No.
Oh no, only Kelly Kombrinks and Kelly Kombrinck exactalikes.
Exactalikes.
his clones.
Kelly's head just disappeared.
Kelly has no head thanks to the back.
It
That's
looked
because
for
I add so many extra syllables every time I sing back in time.
Right.
he started disappearing just like in the movie.
Disappearing, that's right. Somewhere I need to go find my parents and make them fuck.
Ew.
Spoiler alert. See, I just disappeared almost entirely when I said that.
And then your mom tries to fuck you by accident.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What an awkward situation.
Kind of a
Probably
brilliant
wouldn't, though.
comedy setup, though, when you think about it.
One of the most.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have this
Tastefully done.
Yeah.
I have this tasteful Jack in the Box. We're going to tastefully crank it around
Tastefully
That's the only way I
cranking.
do
around
anything.
the virtual table.
Bottles
Taste
and
of
James.
choice.
Tastefully cranking it on the front porch since 1867.
I just talked about Bartles and James. Everything is happening.
It's all happening.
All right, Andy, you're up first. You're cranking it. You're cranking it.
Oh, Andy's cranking it. Ow.
Keep going. Keep going.
All right, you're good. You're passing it along to me.
Along to you.
Oh, we should know in a moment.
And now I'm going to pass it to Freddy to crank.
No, how dare you.
You still have to do
What's
it.
he gonna watch?
What you gonna do?
Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
That's another one.
Has it ever been gone to a second round?
Wouldn't it be funny if it just...
No, because we've changed the way we do it.
I have three slips of paper that I shuffle.
Yeah.
And then I go in order of how we normally sit around this table, even though we haven't sat around this table in a year.
Oh, I thought it'd be fun if it just kept going and going and going.
That'd
and
be
nobody
great.
ever got pulled.
Be
Somebody
great.
And the
will
show
always.
would be 20 hours long.
Wouldn't that be fun? Freddy.
Yeah.
Your movie film is on Shudder. It's called Stay Out of the Attic.
Oh, my dad used to say that.
Freddy, stay out of the attic.
Stay out of the attic.
There's exposed nails up there. You're going to lay your head open. Your brain's going to fall out.
The description is a trio of movers, a creepy client, a horrific secret in the attic. Will
Someone
they
lays their
survive
brains out.
Wait, it's don't what in the attic?
the night? Stay out of the attic.
Oh, stay in the attic. Stay out of it.
Stay out of the attic.
You know, like, because they used to do every movie they had.
Stay out of the attic.
Is it stay out of the fucking attic? Because I found that.
All I know
Yeah, this
is
is
when
it.
I okay.
It's called Stay Out of the Fucking
Just
Attic.
when you go up there, just like leave Clark alone. He's watching home movies and he's crying.
Stay out of it.
Christmas is the time of year.
Hey, remember that National Lampoon's when he fell through the ceiling?
Yeah.
Did it bother anybody else how close that bunk bed was to the ceiling?
It is. It's very close.
Who slept on that top bunk? Nobody could.
Well, did he break through the poster? Because it's like there were some continuity moments, or like there were just other rooms with bunk beds in the house.
I've seen that movie 8 billion times, and I cannot answer any of your questions.
Or was the poster of What's Her Nuts on the bottom of the top bunk?
What's the? I think it was the top because they show the kid laying in the bottom bunk staring up, and then they show because he's excited about Christmas. And then they show the grandpa, and he's also staring up, but it's because he's looking at the bikini picture.
Is it Samantha Fox?
Was it? I don't remember.
Was it?
Naughty
I don't
girls
know.
need love.
Oh, God. So that house had multiple bunk beds, huh?
That is strange.
Yeah, we'll say that.
It had bunkable malt beds.
They were so rich, they had more than one bunk bed.
Damn.
This is how your rich friends in school BuzzFeed list. The kid who had multiple bunk beds. The kid who had both a Sega and an NES.
The kid that had the fucking entire Ewok village playset.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a real thing,
The
but
kids who had
I
two
remember it being a
parents.
real thing.
No.
Oh.
Product of a single mother. She fucking rocked it.
Mm-hmm.
Single moms. Fucking rock.
Oh, you single mommies.
Okay. I don't know where that came from, but all of a sudden I'm like, my mom is the best and I need to call her. Okay. Are we moving on?
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of your job, dude. You're just sitting there twiddling your goddamn thumbs.
You know,
like this isn't a fucking podcast that you do every goddamn
when you do it, and
week.
then it feels like sometimes there's too much excitement.
These are the weapons. These are the warriors. This is the final battlefield. In 1990, the Bronx Warriors. They trust no one. They fear nothing. They walk with death. Those who follow them will survive. Those who challenge them will die. You will see the future. You will be afraid. The first to die will be the lucky ones. 1990, the Bronx Warriors. They walk with death.
I love this movie so damn much.
This movie confused me because it was in 1990.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, it was released in 1990. I was thought, like, wow, this movie looks really bad for 1990. Turns out it was made in 1982.
It's the future of the past. That thing you love, Andy.
But just the title was very confusing to dumb people like me.
1990 New York, it's a post-apocalyptic situation.
Now I know you mentioned real quick that this was a ripoff on Escape from New York, but I thought that didn't come out till 83. It was Escape from New York 81 or 83?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Because this came out in 82.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
That's maybe, but I think definitely at minimum a ripoff of the Warriors, but I do feel like
definitely it does seem like a ripoff of Escape from New York because there are things
like because isn't it in Escape from New York? It's the president, right?
Escape from New York came out in 1981.
I knew it was one of the other. All right, well, so never mind.
All right, so we've figured that out. Then we're gonna say probably yes. Then that this is probably a ripoff.
For sure yes.
All right, so
$1,000,000%. Yeah.
So there's this policeman who comes to the Bronx Hammer, right? Is he a real cop? What is he exactly? Do we know?
No. Before you even get to Hammer.
Yeah.
Please, Hammer.
Old Vic Morrow.
Yeah.
Your uncle, your great uncle.
The post-apoc. I don't know what happened because they never tell you, but like states and cities and these like municipalities are now like corporations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have just completely written off the Bronx. The Bronx is like a no man's lawless land.
Yeah. That's what it's called, the no man's land.
And so the
officially,
the poor man's version of the Warriors are taking on all the other poor man's versions of things from the Warriors and the Bronx.
Here's the thing. That's the funny thing is, like, looking back on some of the gangs in the Warriors, they're not any more ridiculous than the gangs in this movie.
This movie to me is every bit as good as the Warriors. I love this movie. Like it is also funny because it's that future of the past thing where, and they're so far off the mark, obviously, that we had these roving gangs that accessorize and match each other. It's inherently a silly concept, you know?
Is it?
To that level.
As a white lady who grew up in the suburbs in the Midwest, I feel like I can speak on how gangs are nowadays. And from my understanding from television is that the Crips wear red and the Bloods wear blue.
Yeah,
right?
but...
Or no, the Crips wear blue and the Bloods wear red and we're all going to die because I fucked up.
Yeah.
And
I didn't fuck up.
Gang colors are a thing. Yeah, Kelley, you're fine.
Just colors.
But
then try to put a pair of roller skates on one of them.
Well, of course, roller skates are stupid.
Try to get the whole gang to carry hockey sticks all the time.
Amy, it's funny you said you
and take martial arts classes.
Yeah.
but you said from what you understand from TV, this is what I felt this guy did. He saw some things on gangs from movies or TV, and this is what he thinks America is kind of like.
I think he literally just watched The Warriors and Escape from New York.
Yeah, I think that's just part of it.
That's all he knows about.
But it's a very like immigrant thing to do to get this idea of America from what you see on TV, and then making a movie of what you think is true about this country.
I'll tell you, like, a lot, you listen to immigrant stories or people who are first, second generation.
Or the immigrant song.
That too. And you learn, like, people learn the language. They learn English. They learn things about America through television and movies. So I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
But then, like, if you're some crazy, super artistic Italian guy, and you're like, well, in Italy, we're about fashion. See, this is what I know about fucking Italy from TV.
Well, you know, to both of your points,
they're about fashion.
I think that there has to be something said for the fact that they filmed this on location in the Bronx at the time. That so he couldn't have been as innocent and, you know, unaware of what real American culture is. This is a director who has traveled back and forth between, you know, he's more worldly than the audience he's making movies for.
He just decided to go high camp.
Yeah.
What's funny is, I don't know if he decided to go high camp, but he accidentally did. But he did do, like, there were some real good shots.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this movie clearly had some kind of a budget. There were some really great shots. It did look kind of good.
I think most of the budget went to costumes, though.
And Mark Gregory, who was introduced in this film. Can I take a moment to talk about Mark Gregory?
Please do.
This guy, to me, my goodness, I feel like they made this movie for him. Like, someone was in love with this guy, and they were like, we're going to make this is going to be his movie. We're going to write it for him. Because they kept trying to make him seem so important and awake and alive and filled with thoughts.
He was fighting
and like,
he fought them every step of the way.
The first thought I had when I saw this guy, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not body. He is a beautiful body. He has a tight little tush. You really get a feel for this guy's tush. That doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
Like, where
his jeans are right up in there.
I really got to understand that
where his balls are,
the shape of his butt, the way it moved, the way he holds himself when he walks.
Let's talk about that for a minute. And I texted you guys about this, I think, but I know he walks like the front part of a centaur.
Yeah, no, he does. I know exactly. Yes.
And you could, I texted you guys. I think I was
putting
like
one foot directly in front of another and keeping your legs like as close together as possible.
It's like someone draped a green screen over the horse part.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. I'm glad you.
Yeah.
He's always a little pitch forward a little bit.
He is. His butt's always just pushed up.
Yeah,
but his posture is
out.
like perfect.
Yeah, he's like a backwards J.
Yeah.
Or a frontwards J. He's just a J. And his butt is the part that comes out.
His character is trash, right?
Yeah, trash.
Is he the leader of that gang?
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
And they are called the Bronx Warriors, right?
I don't fucking know. Did they ever say?
I think they did call them so. I've seen it twice.
I thought they were just the Riders.
Or the Riders. Yeah, well, yeah, the Riders. That sounds right. And then
they're a motorcycle gang.
Yeah.
My first thought when I saw him, though, was this guy should just play Frankenstein's monster. But not like this, not the smart one that talks.
Yeah.
Silent.
But he sounded like, I think he deliberately maybe was riffing on the We Belong Dead scene from Frankenstein, where Bride, I mean, where, you know, because he sounds like, I mean, he basically says the same damn dialogue.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, everything was dubbed, though. So was it him saying it or somebody else?
Well,
I listen.
Yeah.
Well, you go to say what you're going to say.
I was just going to say it's confusing because he is an Italian actor, but it's one of those things where I think some moments for ADR, if the actor didn't know English at all.
I think most of it was ADR for everybody.
I will say, now, maybe this guy was such a good actor that he's like, I'm going to act like a bad actor, but I'm also going to make this deliberate homage to Frankenstein. But he had no idea where to look most of the movie. His eyes were just roving about. His hand. He was not a good actor. No offense to you, Mr. Gregory.
He's a model.
Death follows us.
He was a model who was dropped into this situation and wasn't.
He fell off of a runway and into a movie.
Yeah.
He fell off a truck. Now perhaps the writer and sort of the creative directional people intended that, but he.
Oh no, yeah, I don't think he made that decision.
Okay, yeah.
Because I mean, like, if you had your guy come in and be like, "Death is bad," and you'd be like, "Okay, that was a little weird, right?" Like, I'm sure the director was like, "That's exactly what we want. We want him to sound like kind of like Rocky mixed with Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. He would be great at that.
He's
not great at this.
Yeah.
Can I ask?
In some ways, he was.
He's complete. He's so memorable with this part, and they made a sequel to this. At least one sequel.
They did?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just more mesmerized by his moose knuckle, and that's
And
on me.
His butt.
That's my problem.
Had a lot of jeans.
Well, it's
in
impressive because he was wearing jeans, and it's hard to see moose knuckle through jeans because the material is so thick. Again, we're talking about jeans. It's a very gene heavy episode.
It's a jeans kind of show.
It's gangs, but it's pronounced jeans. It's a soft G and an E like A.
All right, so help me understand exactly what was going on here. Like, it opens with this young woman,
Anne,
running across a bridge, clearly fleeing Manhattan in some way.
Which is
she's rich.
Yeah.
She's a rich bitch. And she ends up like being accosted by bad guys in the Bronx, but then is
the
saved.
roller skate enthusiasts.
She's
right.
Yeah.
They're the
dangerous
gang.
rollerbladers.
They have they have the flying V style, like Nightcrawler from X-Men kind of shaped costume.
They have
helmets for safety.
Yeah.
Also, they did have knee pads, I think, too, right?
They did. They had
knee pads and gloves,
they had knee pads, elbow pads. I'm glad whoever the leader of that gang looked out for their safety.
They did.
It's a good leader.
Maybe they ripped it all off of like a youth hockey league, and that's why it's cool.
Oh, that's
they
sad.
stole
There's
it
a
from
bunch of-
children.
There's a bunch of dead young children hockey players somewhere.
Yeah.
So, like, what is the character's name? Our centaur man.
Oh, Trash.
That's right. Sorry, I don't know where I was.
He just wants to party.
Trash and his dudes like come across this. She's being accosted, and they save her.
Lackadaisically.
Yes. While they're like beating up on the roller skate gang, like
Very
she's
lackadaisically.
hiding, but also, like
Is she coming? What is happening?
There's a lot
herself.
of writhing, yeah.
She is touching herself to
this movie again. Someone was so in love. I feel like they thought this guy is so sexy that whoever, this guy for them was the guy. They were like, this is my Adonis. This is my David. And this, I'm not saying it's the director. I don't know who, but like someone wanted this guy in this because they felt like that character. They're like, I watch him moving and I just squirm with sexual
my basement
ecstasy.
And I hear the clip clopping of his hooves.
And it's just because like I was like, are we supposed to believe that the power of this man's sexiness alone is making this woman cream in her like whatever those like large pleated pants are? Like
that can hold a lot of cream. That can hold a lot of cream in those pleated pants.
That's a lot of
it expands.
Yeah.
Didn't Anne remind anyone else of Virginia Madsen at all?
No.
Just me?
No, she reminded me a little bit of Tina from Return of the Living Dead, but like way less good.
Definitely the clothing and the hair. That was like it was literally like paper doll version of Tina from Return of the Living Dead. Like they peeled off her costume in its entirety.
Which again hadn't come out yet though.
Yeah. Well, then maybe this is where it was sitting around. They're like, we still have one of them paper doll costumes. You want to use it, Mr. O'Bannon?
So like, she's like into this stuff, right? She's into this dude saving her, and
it's Aladdin.
Sure. But then I feel like we were just thrust into the rest of the conversation, or the story, without understanding how it went from her being almost killed, raped, beaten by this roller skate gang and saved by Centaur Man to her being part of the gang and riding motorcycles around. Like there was no...
Oh, he accepts her immediately. They're like the Lost Boys. Yeah.
Right,
once you get a vest, you're in. That's all you have to have.
Yeah.
I mean, you find out she is the heir to the Manhattan Corporation.
All of it.
Like she's gonna run it because that's just how it works. She's gonna be 18. They're gonna give her control of all of Manhattan because that's just how this works. Nobody really explains. It's just it's mine now. They want to get me back. And by they, we mean these couple of old white dudes who hire Hammer.
Yeah, this is Vic Morrow's character.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him.
Yeah, who is a retired Nazi, apparently. I didn't appreciate all the Nazi insignias around.
There were swastikas on like the biker gang.
Those were the Hell's Angels, though.
And then Trash, his favorite comforter on his bed is a Confederate flag. Just FYI, these things pop up.
His room looks like an 8th grader's room from 1985. With the checkered and other than the rebel flag.
Yeah, their little hangout was kind of charming though, because it was clearly the graffiti was freshly painted. And it was so brand new. And
does he need us right now?
Seemed like a fun little hangout.
It looked like the Peach Pit.
I'm gonna send Freddy out to talk to our neighbor again. We are getting a fence installed, and my neighbor's out back right now, and he needs to talk to Freddy. But we're gonna keep talking.
Yeah, we are.
About this nonsense movie.
I also wanted to bring up the Alan Alda gang member who also might have been the leader, the guy with glasses.
Oh, the Harry Potter glasses?
Yeah, Harry Potter glasses. Who's if you look, he's very.
Oh yeah.
He's like
the accountant that got into a gang.
You think we're in a gang here? Is what you think? Well, let me tell you something. I'm a surgeon, and I worked in the Korean War, and now I'm a Bronx warrior.
I thought he looked like little Bill Denbrough from the It miniseries.
But you got to factor in the voice with it and the delivery.
And just the look of him, it was a very ragtag group of people.
It was very ragtag.
Writers. You had people of all ages,
which is nice.
Body types. It was nice to see. It's a reflection of America, but
they were diverse.
I do not find some of these people intimidating. Just because you're on a bike doesn't make you intimidating. Just because you have a velvet vest on, doesn't make you automatically scared.
Trash is not intimidating to me at all. I mean, he's much beefier than me, but like
he's lean though. I feel like I could knock him over.
Well, I just feel like he looks like he doesn't know where he is most of the time.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Like I said, I don't want to offend this guy, but he just looks dumb.
All right, we'll apologize for this in 12 years, but yes, he does have dumb face. Like that's not his fault.
Like, sometimes people, the lights are on, but nobody's home. It's that look.
He could have gone on. He could be working on the fucking Perseverance mission on Mars right now, and I wouldn't be surprised. But maybe I would be a little bit.
I'd be incredibly surprised. I wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I would have to get 4 sources.
Yeah, I'm gonna need many. So that's a nice thing you said, Andy. Though I don't know that you realized it. That this gang has all kinds of people in it.
No, I did. I'd like that. It had a woman too, and there were different types of women.
Different types of women. What does that mean?
The same thing. Different types of men.
Big ones, little ones,
big ones, little ones, old ones.
Ones with wings. Ones.
It was a tapestry.
So, like, you know, I'm a 41-year-old woman living in the suburbs. I've already mentioned that. Like. This gang could accept me maybe one day. One day I might need a gang.
They'd easily accept you. You're as tough as they are for sure.
Yeah. They just ask you, you have a leather vest? You're in.
Sorry, you guys. My neighbor, the reason why he wanted to talk to us was to give us a nice card.
She made that by hand.
She made this?
Yeah, she's an artist.
Oh my God.
So like that's what I was showing you. The envelope is this really nice.
And they put a bunch of money in it, and I don't know why.
I guess because they're happy to be getting a new fence.
To fund your fence?
We're putting up a new privacy fence in our backyard. Nobody cares about this, but I'm just going to tell you. Like, so we tore down their old fence, which was getting old, and we're going to put up our new privacy fence, and they're going to have this brand new fence. And they just gave us money for that for no reason.
Well,
that's very
cool.
Sweet. They didn't
go out and get you some food.
That's so nice.
Anyway, listeners, so I'm going to tell you, I've talked about my neighbor being a Trump supporter, but he just did this very nice thing. Does that make you sit back and think?
You're complicit now.
Oh, God damn it. Anyway, all right, back to this fucking weird-ass movie. What was the dude's name that wore the glasses?
Alan Alda.
Lent.
Listen, Trash, there's more to this conspiracy than you even know.
He's like his number 2.
Hawkeye.
He's Trash's number 2, but he clearly has a little ambition. So when Hammer comes around looking to hurt him,
Oh, and he's like, I'm too legit.
And then there's popcorn. No, hot dog.
Hot dog popcorn.
Hot dog popcorn comes along.
Hey, are you hungry, Amy?
Christopher Connolly. He reminds me so much of the older Harrison Ford, like the
I know what you mean.
Force Awakens one. Yeah. That's all.
No Alan Alda though. The way he talks.
Oh, I must have missed you guys talking about Alan Alda.
Alda is the guy that's in the gang with the glasses. Honey.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
So you have old Harrison Ford and young Alan Alda.
Do you feel like he was also? They were trying to go for like a Peter Fonda type with him too.
Oh, perhaps
because them being like maybe an Easy Rider.
Yeah, he was still around in people's brains.
Well, so. Popcorn, no.
Hot dog.
Why do
hot dog
I
popcorn.
want to say popcorn?
Hot corn.
Hot corn.
Cheeseburger head.
So Hot Dog shows up, and Hot Dog works with Hammer.
Hammer and Hot Dog, attorneys at law. If you can't fit that hot dog in a hole.
Hot Dog is a truck driver, and he's getting paid by Hammer to do something. And then later, Hot Dog lures Alan Alda to do something. It does not matter.
He lured me here to do surgery on his leg.
The plot doesn't matter. It's all about the gang fights.
Let's talk about the gangs.
All that matters.
So when Trash goes to like save the honor of his lady, he meets these other gangs. I would like to talk about the Broadway gang.
Oh wait, can we first talk about the murder? Right, the murder happens first, right? At the river. Or does it?
Does it matter? We're not talking about
okay, yeah, it probably doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Yeah. The fact is, like, the dad of the heiress is trying to get her back, and he sends mercenaries out to get him, and the riders have to protect her, and they recruit all these other gangs to help him out. That's it. And we meet the gangs. Which one do you want to start off with?
Let's meet the gangs.
Well, we have our dangerous tap dancing Broadway gang, which I think is the most egregious.
The 5th Street Fossies.
Like when the apocalypse, whatever happened to make Manhattan its own corporation and the Bronx be this lawless land, these kids were never able to live their Broadway dreams. So what they did
this is what happened to the Fame kids.
Yeah, they moved to the Bronx. It's the only place they could be. And they created a Broadway gang where they dance and kill.
That's the dance fight. That's how they fight. They do like
they serve
and jumps.
They serve
stuff like that.
They serve it.
Trash got served.
It's literally a dance battle.
Yeah.
Trash got served. I can only imagine.
The Jazz Hand Enforcers. They've given it pretty hard to Trash tonight.
And so he makes his way through them. I really don't care. Mm-hmm. Then is this when the scavengers come up?
Yeah, they were kind of the zombie-esque ones, right?
Yeah.
And this is one that the dusty faces.
Is that the scavengers? That's the scavengers. Then they had an actual one called the zombies too. Another gang.
Do you ever see? Are the zombies the roller skaties?
Maybe. I've seen it twice. Like I said,
that's the name of their gang. The roller skaties.
I thought they were the singy songies.
So intimidating.
Because what Trash is trying to do is to get to Ogre, who is Fred Williamson.
I wanted to talk about that though.
Amy. This is like a video game.
One member of the riders, I want to say, is killed at the river. Like impaled on a piece of something.
Right. He's they kill him. They take him out to show him.
It's very much. It reminds me a lot of that scene in The Warriors, the Can You Dig It scene, like where all the gangs come together. It feels like it's from the same movie. I mean, they have so much in common, but it almost feels like they're the same world or something. And there's just that drummer on the shore of the river, and that's the whole soundtrack of them coming in.
Beat.
I love that. I think that's a cool moment.
You think he's part of the gang, or is he just there all the time?
It's like a herald. I was telling Amy, I was like, there's, as silly as this is, it's also like kind of got that Shakespearean. It's got the Shakespeare or even like the Greek myth type of, simplicity to certain moments in it where all the gangs come. Yeah, they've come to the beat.
In Mad Max, you got the doof playing guitar on the front of the on the thing. You always have your, like you said, your fife player.
Yeah.
Well, I did appreciate, like you said, it's a herald that even though it's lawlessness in their gangs, they do still have a code of conduct in a certain way.
As per their dress codes, they have some like a very like if you are all the way to having like a handbook, then you might be in a street gang.
You bring it up. The costumes. Like, I want to see a prequel of how these gangs are formed and how they came to their idea of what gang they're going to be.
Do you try out
sign-ups?
Yeah.
I imagine it's like the first day on campus and you have all these groups set up with tables and join our gang. Like, you like Broadway? Join the Fosse.
You get a free
t-shirt audition in front of Huey Lewis.
And you got your roller skating gang. Like, you like roller skating? Join us.
Like Rush Week. Yeah.
This movie just proves that like anarchy doesn't work. Chaos will never work. You cannot be an anarchist. There was no
chaos in this movie. Everything was organized.
Yeah. Well, because human beings need a structure to live by, and even when you're lawless,
oh my God,
you will create your own laws.
So back to the beach scene or the shore.
I'm about philosophy right now.
I like how the gangs come in. Like, it's very, again, it's like that, or like you see in Harry Potter when they bring in the different wizarding schools for the Goblet of Fire tournament or whatever. But they just kind of quietly show up. They're like very respectful that this is like a murder scene. And the last gang to come is the Ogres gang, who are like the pimps. But they're like a rainbow coalition of pimps.
Did you feel like somebody like in town like had all these classic cars and they were like just offering they're like, let me offer you something, and they just worked it in because this guy offered them all these cars?
Yeah, and they were all like a very specific kind of like sideboard gangster car,
like a 40s.
Yeah,
Al
but
Capone.
also like zhuzhed up.
Yeah, pimped out. Ooh, Millie farted.
No, it's Elsa. And it's grotesque.
It's bad.
Yeah, so they have this meeting, Trash and Ogre. Ogre again is Fred Williamson at the beginning, but now that he's got to save his lady, he needs to get back to Ogre for help. I don't remember, and it doesn't matter. So he goes through the Fosses, through the Scavengers, who are the dusty, don't speak. We have regressed into animalistic behavior. There's discussion of the zombies. Then you have your roller skaties. Am I missing anybody?
You got the dusty people, the pimps, the jazz hands gang.
Yeah.
I thought Hammer's group was very like World War I Nazi, like German-esque.
Well, yeah, they were like kind of sex clubbish too, though. Mm-hmm. Didn't you think?
Very German, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they weren't so much a gang as they were like the secret police, right?
I just saw like there's like the Gestapo almost.
Yeah,
it was very off-putting to see them.
I think they
riding around on horses with flamethrowers.
They called them like vigilantes. Like they called themselves that.
Yeah, it was a little confusing.
I don't think there was never going to be any actual police presence. This is just whomever wants to fuck with the Bronx. You
come fuck with it.
You soup up your ice cream truck.
Oh, do you guys remember the fake Emilio Estevez? I just remember that guy. The guy who looked like
that could be anybody.
He was the leader of the roller skaties.
Yeah, he had the red flying V costume, and he looks like Emilio, a deep fake of Emilio Estevez.
That was very his costume is very Mortal Kombat-ish.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I didn't see how that went with the roller skating aesthetic. It was very at odds.
It was like this martial arts mixed with roller skating thing.
Trying to make roller skates tough, and I just I don't know.
It's never gonna work.
I'm scared of roller skates.
Maybe roller blades, but even then,
they're so chunky and big and dangerous.
Yeah,
like you're just gonna fall down.
I'm not saying they're not tough. I'm just saying, in a gang related way.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Fosses are super tough.
Well, when you're in the shit, you need to be able to like point, like stick your foot and like
have a
pivot and move.
Out.
And if you're on wheels,
sitting in a roller derby, that's tough. Those people are tough. But out on the street, just zipping around
violence.
the park. I don't know.
That's only on Electric Avenue, though.
Oh yeah, you got to stay away from Electric Avenue. It's dangerous there.
Or just rock down to it.
Can somebody remind me what the fuck happens at the end?
There's a big fight in the ogre.
All the gangs come together.
Yeah, and they fight Vic Morrow.
Yeah,
they're ambushed by by Hammer's group with the horses on with the flamethrowers,
and they had like the riot police uniforms on. They looked very much like the same assholes that are,
that we saw this summer out hurting people peacefully protesting. Whatever.
Well, you said hurting people. I feel a lot of people on this movie got hurt.
Oh yeah, sure.
Those flamethrower scenes are very visceral. I felt a lot of people got burned.
Yeah, it definitely felt real. I had the same thought, but also they kind of look like fake. Like I think it was like a one-off thing. Like those backpacks, I don't think had anything in them. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like a real.
Yeah, obviously, they're not. It's hard to control your flames when you're riding a horseback.
Yeah,
but.
How many horses do you think they cooked and ate by accident?
Well, that was like the craft services. Like it was built in the budget.
Can you just buy a flamethrower?
For agricultural stuff, you can.
Mm-hmm. I've never tried.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can for like if you're
controlled burns,
doing a controlled burn type of thing.
Okay,
I think. I mean, you can get a blowtorch. I don't know why you couldn't get a flamethrower.
You get a can of hairspray and a lighter.
And a lighter, yeah. If movies have taught me anything, that works perfectly, right?
That's what I know.
Yeah, well, it does work.
Do they win? I can't remember.
Everybody dies, right?
Oh.
No, because Trash comes back in the second one.
Well,
they have an electric boogaloo.
Trash.
Is Trash the only one that lives? No, Anne lives, doesn't she? I know Hot Dog dies. I remember that. I remember that being kind of poignant.
Popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that because he gets shot, and Freddy said it looks like they just put a bunch of ketchup packets underneath his shirt, and I said, "Well, yeah, because he's a hot dog."
But it's that
that comes with him.
You know, it's an Italian movie because they've got that super bright red paint.
I love that.
Almost like orangey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very viscous.
I wanted there to be a hot dog funeral scene where he was in the big bun-shaped coffin.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was going to be in a roller or something.
Yeah. Or in a roller just spinning his body, his naked, glistening body as he changes different shades of red.
It looks so delicious. Ooh, I'll have that one.
That one looks good.
Oh, he's starting to blister.
Yeah. We got to switch the bodies out. Those are old. We've been on the roller too long.
Yeah. Oh, Hammer was just a ruthless son of a bitch, by the way. He shoots that couple on the stairs, even though the guy did kind of try to intimidate him away. Remember he murdered that couple?
Yeah.
That was just kind of cold.
He's a bad
shit.
guy. You're supposed to think that.
He is a real bad guy.
He killed a lot of people. I did appreciate the Viking funeral they gave him.
That was the thing that cracked me up. When I looked at Amy, and I said, this is 8 years into the future that they thought we were already going to be at matching costumes and Viking funerals. And I wanted, like you were saying you wanted that prequel, right, Kelly?
Yeah.
Or Andy,
I said that.
Andy, yeah. And so, like, I feel you on that. Like, what happened in those 8 years that your entire funerary traditions changed? Some crazy shit happened.
Well, when it's lawless, man. If you could have a Viking funeral, if you lived in a lawless no man's land, would you do it?
Hell yeah.
I don't want to smell my friend cooking.
Yeah, I don't either.
It sounds gross.
Can you do
I'll
it?
make sure
unless it's hot dog.
I'll make sure I put some lavender packets in my pockets before I eat burn.
Yeah.
So
well, we should work that into the tradition.
Yeah.
You're like, I think his bile sac just popped. I think the heat made his eyes explode. It smells like eggs in here.
But during this Viking funeral, I saw they were supposed to say dead, but I saw at one point the guy was flinching because the fire was so close to his face.
Wouldn't you?
He was like, I saw him move like, oh.
So really they did that trick where they had the fire burning in the foreground and him like 20 feet away from it in the background.
Yeah. But I did see him flinch a little bit. So he's not good at playing dead. It's like, you're not dead, sir. I see you moving.
They just did that for court when they had to be brought up on charges and prove that all of the Bronx Warriors were still alive.
What a deeply stupid movie.
Yeah.
It's fun, though. I had a lot of fun with it.
It was fun.
It's not, and I don't even think it's stupid. I actually think it's just a nice, cool action movie. And you're going to laugh a lot because of how kitschy it is.
That's what I meant. Like,
but yeah, it's a solid 90 minutes of action and storytelling and weird characters that you'll never forget.
I love Ogre's side piece chick. Yeah. She's got that bustier on, and her weapon's a whip.
She has a cape.
That is great. The whip scene. Like, if you make a movie like this now, it's like a Marvel movie. That's like the level of things that happen in this movie and how over the top they are. If you made an Italian
with a more
guy,
deft hand at filmmaking,
well, also hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of more people, and lots of more technology and a lot more, changes and everything to what they could do. But you take it back to 1982 with a small Italian crew making this movie in the Bronx, where it's still New York City. It's still, the day to day, and they managed to make it look like a post-apocalyptic wasteland and have these big fight sequences.
Well, it's what you said, day to day. I noticed most of the movie it showed their budget because most of the movie was filmed in the daytime. Oh, because they couldn't afford to do
afford lights.
Nighttime shit. Yeah.
Also, who would want to be like? They probably had a lot of safety concerns being in 1982 in the Bronx. They're like, we
don't want to actually fight the Bronx Warriors,
right? It's a different world back then.
What is this streaming on right now?
Tubi.
So
it's free.
Yeah. Okay, real quick question: if you had, it came down to which game would you join from the movie?
Oh, easy. That's the Riders because they're the most normal looking ones as far as like
the Riders. You get a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm afraid of motorcycles.
No choreography.
And I'm not good at roller skates, so I would probably go with the Fossies, but I don't have rhythm. Would I be stuck? Oh, I'd end up being a pimp. I would go with Ogre.
Oh, good choice. I didn't even consider Ogre's gang.
They were so luxurious. All they did was lounge around all day.
That's true.
I like those old cars.
Oh, Amy, I changed my answer. I want to go with Amy.
And they had their hangout had candles on those candle holder sticky things.
Did you get that one you were talking about with the whip? That was the character Witch, right? They called her Witch?
Yeah, it's Witch. I want to be Witch.
Witch is a pretty badass name for a character.
Yeah, and I would definitely join the Fosse gang. Cause
you would, yeah.
I just want a walking stick to dance around with.
Yeah.
So this, you get 2
Kelley?
sequels to this.
You're for sure a writer, Kelley. You don't want to explore your inner Fosse or roller skatey?
Well, the pimp gang sounds real cool, but I already made my choice, and I'm not a takesy backsy. So
yeah, it's he has loyalty to his gang that he joined.
I get it.
So you get in 1983, the very next year, you get Escape from the Bronx, which is the continuing adventures of Trash, and then you get a third one called Endgame.
Hey,
like Avengers! Oh my god!
Wait a minute.
In Endgame, I don't think we have a trash in this one.
Oh, somebody took out the trash?
Yeah.
Oh.
You get some guy named Ron Shannon.
Yeah. So,
this one has telepathic mutants in it, post-World War III. Yeah, so it's a trilogy.
I love this.
So Trash finally became a centaur?
I love these Italian action movies so much. Fred Williamson did a whole lot of them too. So if you just follow his filmography, it's just a deep bench of wonderful things.
Well, thank you.
Well,
this was fun.
Now, is this a popular movie? I'd never heard of it until you brought it up.
Well, I hadn't seen it until just a couple of months ago for the first time. So I would say it's probably not a popular movie.
No, so it's not like a cult status movie?
No, I'd say
never
cult.
Heard of this.
I'd definitely say it has a cult following. I think Tarantino was a fan of this movie.
I mean, obviously has to have enough to be streaming on Tubi.
Yeah, or not Tubi.
So there's... But yeah, I've never heard of it either. So.
That was a contractual joke. Doesn't require any laughs.
Once we were done watching this, Freddie queued up Hard Ticket to Hawaii, which is also on Tubi, which is also silly nonsense.
It's Andy Sedaris' I think his second movie, because he did Malibu Express. I think it was the first one. But this one, Matt Suzaki turned me on to this movie when we were all camping together.
Years ago.
And Amy was off doing something, and I was watching Hard Ticket to Hawaii. It's a blast.
I think they pair well together. So if you like 1990 The Bronx Warrior and you enjoy the silliness, then you will like Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Plus boobs. I don't think there were any boobs in 1990.
No.
Nope.
No nudity. But yeah, Hard Ticket to Hawaii is like kind of like Miami Vice, Charlie's Angels, and every ridiculous 80s action movie you can imagine, like stitched together
by somebody who doesn't care for writing good dialogue or stories.
They're like the experience of watching The Room, you can't believe what you're seeing. Andy Sedaris movies are those sort of things where you're just like, and it doesn't feel like the self-aware thing like Andy was saying earlier. It feels like it's a very sincere attempt at creating like a mega hit.
Yeah, it's a very sincere way of putting tits on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Very sincere.
Just like The Great Pumpkin, very sincere.
Very sincere.
It's sincere and it's greed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
excess.
Yeah, and it's excess.
So next week.
Yep.
In excess.
The Road Warrior.
The Road Warrior, which is something I've never seen.
Road Warriors.
So that's
Would
exciting.
you like to know your Topicana question?
Yes, please.
I mean, I don't have to tell you.
I want you to tell us. You already did, but now I want you to tell everybody.
Please tell us, Kelley. Please.
So for the listeners, this week's question, well, for the people who listen to Topicana anyway, if you could have your safety guaranteed, what legendary or mythical creature would you study and get close to? Why would you choose that one? And that can include cryptids, but also it could be like the Sphinx. It could be,
That's a good answer because I'm bad at riddles.
But not just something you saw on like on DuckTales. It's got to be legendary or mythical.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm going to choose Centaur after seeing this movie.
You could choose Centaur. That'd be a great, solid.
I want to
choice.
get to the bottom of trash and why he walks that way.
Why you like this trash?
That's a really good question, Kelley.
I as you were saying it, I came up with my answer. I think
I
have to think.
My answer was immediate because you said safety guaranteed. And that
your safety is guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. All right, at the end of every show, we always say hi to our Beelzebubs. Again, if you want to support the show with your money,
your cashola,
patreon.com/NOTLP, we give you things for that money.
And I'm pulling it up right now, and Amy's doing a beautiful job of stalling for me.
And we always start with our favorite patron because she's married to one of the hosts, and her name is Alise.
Oh, I love you. She just came home from work.
Aw.
She's
taking
came home
what-
with a box of shells.
Oh my God,
You're given?
we manifested her
Because she's working for a living.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold up. I've got 'em.
I'm trying to see if I remember the list.
You got Ernie Perez.
Ernie.
Yep. You got it.
Amanda.
Yes. You're doing great, Amy.
Bill Farner.
Bill Farner.
They're doing this
And then
blind,
it's-
guys.
And then it's Tree and Alex.
Tree and Alex.
You missed one
And
per. Well, not you didn't miss them, but you haven't mentioned them yet.
Mark Watts.
You're close. Mark is one
Blake
of
Heath.
them, and then yes, Blake Heath.
Blake Heath.
Blake Heath. And then we got Branan and Emily.
Yep.
Oh, we skipped way. I feel like we missed a few between Blake Heath and
Adam
did we?
Ingram.
Yep.
Jeffel.
Yep.
Bill
Iona
Chandler. Is he
Goodwin.
next?
That's right.
No, Iona Goodwin. Iona
Okay.
Great One.
And you already said Branan and Emily, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bill
So-
Chandler.
Yep.
Bill Chandler's after Iona, right?
No, Bill
Blayne.
Chandler, Monica,
Okay.
Blayne, Alyssa,
Alyssa. I hadn't gotten
Brian.
this far yet.
and Carla.
Brian and Carla. And
I didn't.
Izzy?
I didn't want
and
you.
Dizzy Devil.
Oh.
Oh.
He was like, fuck y'all. Which is fine. You're allowed to do that. I don't care. Did we get everybody?
Yep.
Is that everybody? For real, we did it without even looking at the list?
Without even looking at the list. Well done, y'all.
Shit. You
Thank
guys
you,
are
guys.
you're imprinted on my heart.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh, and real
Thank
quick,
you.
shout out to Bill Chandler and his new tattoos. Very cool.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Is it on Discord?
Let's keep it on Discord.
Oh, I'm
Again,
gonna
if
look
you're
it
a
up.
patron, you can hang out with us on Discord and see Bill's tattoo.
Hang out
do that.
on Discord.
Yeah.
It's fun.
All right.
everybody.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
if he should go to